Aloha Faithful, how's everybody doing? Welcome. It is the Niner Faithful Radio Week in Review Show. How's everybody doing? Hope you had a good week. I know it's been a crazy week with BA this, BA that, and BA everything else in between. Excuse me. Just so you know, I gotta don't pay attention to all this back here. I got a hair up my ass last night, like 4 o'clock, to change my room around, and I'm not quite done with everything. So we're going to be right back. We got TJ in the back. I'll run the actual intro to this, and we will get this show started. All right, everybody, we'll be right back.
They are at the 44-yard line of the Chargers. Taylor out to the left side, and Ricky Waters to the right. And a play fake. Young goes deep middle. He's got Jerry Rice. Touchdown, 49ers. First touchdown of the game. Comes after only a minute and 24 seconds. 44 yards. Touchdown pass to Rice. He sets another record.
You are now tuned to NFL Weekly News Wrap, brought to you by Power Brand Systems.
A wizard is never TJ? Late. A wizard is never late. He is never late. He arrives precisely when he needs to.
Oh man, I didn't think I'd be able to do this episode, man, without how bad my voice has been the last couple of days. So if it's bad,
you did it. That's because Jason's a soldier, baby. Everybody give a round of applause for Jason.
With barely being able to speak in a whisper yesterday and everything, man, it was just like, ouch. All right, so let's see what's up with the chat. We got Tommy in the chat. What's up, fairies? How you doing, you fluffing fairy? We got the McNiner in the house. Let's see, where's it at? We got too much stuff down here. Yep.
Sorry ass man. So long.
Thank you for showing up, Mr. McNiner. And then we've got media clowning on my glasses. Look, man. Technically, I'm supposed to be wearing these all the time, and I told the wife I would start wearing them more, especially because I've been doing more stuff with the computer lately. Because, like, it's sitting in front of the computer that makes my eyes really bad. Like, I don't need them outside. Like, I'm okay seeing things far away, but up close, I'm like, I can't see anything.
Yeah, my vision's gotten a little bit rough.
All right, and then we got John J., the Niner Fanatic Report, formerly known as 49ers Ultimate. How's it going, my brother? And then we also have Miss Kim in here. I knew I skipped somebody when I was looking for something. Miss Kim in the house. How's it? So how's your week been, brother? All right, job interview going good?
Yeah, no, I got one offer. I'm waiting to see what happens at the one that I really want, the one I had today. That's the one I really want. The boy's not the world's greatest salesman, and the other one's basically a sales job. So, but yeah, no, I mean, just got back from that, scarfed down some dinner. I ain't even smoked, but scarfed down with some dinner. Looked at my girl, I was like, hey, I got to get rocking and rolling. So she's over here chilling, playing Kingdom of Hearts.
A quality game. All of them are.
I got her the last year for Christmas or our anniversary or something. One of the holidays. I got it for her. It's like the all-in-one package, so it has like all of them, and like the remixes and all that shit.
It's
so
it's a damn good series, man. It really is.
I mean, I'll watch her every now and then. Your boy got Madden. Did you get the mid-right or the early release for Madden?
Yeah, I started playing this morning.
Yeah, I played a little bit last night. I played a little career mode. I played a little little franchise and everything, and then I was busy getting T-shirts. We're gonna be having that rocking and rolling. My goal, my hope, is if not this Monday, the next Monday we'll be able to launch season 4 of For the Faithful by the Faithful. So I was pretty much doing all that. I was actually almost late for my interview. So
all right, everybody will
I haven't even got to play
be on the lookout for that.
Yeah.
I
got some dope ones this year, bro. I got some dope ones that I think the faithful are gonna like.
Gotcha. Let me pull something up real quick. There we go. All right. Hello. I like the look of that one. So what you drinking on this week?
Yeah.
Is the usual?
Yeah, just an IPA. This is the last one for my girl's birthday. It's been damn near a month, bro. It's 12 days less than a month. So if your boy gets a little loopy tonight, we'll all know why.
Yeah, media. I'm gonna admit I'm not that good at Madden, but I do like playing it. I like using it for content purposes, but I'm not that good at it. Let's see, Tommy, look your best podcaster, Jason. Jason thinks he's a pirate. I'm not a pirate, but I am the captain.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna admit it. I've strictly got it this year. Like nothing has really changed from last year, at least on PS4. So I'll admit it. The only reason I got it is because CMC's on the cover, and then your boy. So like my girl was. They're all right. I can't drink too many of them. If I have more than like one or two, it starts to get a little. Ugh. But like one or two, I'm cool with that. But
I gotta get you some Dragon Stout when you're out here.
Yeah, I'm down.
Or some mead.
I got some
mead left over.
Yeah, I never had mead.
I think I'll have to hold off on one of the bottles of mead for you when you get here. We'll have some mead.
Yeah, I'm down. I've never had mead.
So I got two different. I've got Fire Giant, which is the mead made with habanero peppers, so it's got a spicy aftertaste to it. Or there's the regular mead, but it's made in a whiskey barrel, so it's made, but it has the smell and a slight taste of whiskey to the mead. But
I'll fuck with the whiskey one.
The whiskey. Okay, so I'll drink the fire one before you get here, and I'll save the million for when you get here.
Yeah, but Bubby will be down to try that.
Have you not seen Dodgeball? It's been so long since I've seen that movie, man. Honestly,
you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
Yeah, that's about all I remember. As far as
that's really the only thing I remember.
I've got some more of my Cutwater White Russians. I got a couple more of these. So, well, everybody, it's Friday night. Cheers to everybody.
Cheers, brother. That feels good.
Plus, I got some Miller in the fridge, and I got some Arizona tea. I got some good stuff in the fridge. But yeah, so I will definitely save the Mjolnir one for when you get here, so we have some of that.
Damn, Kim's already got the Puni jersey.
See? I told you he was going to start. All right, so let's talk about what has happened this week. Well, here's the injury list, folks. And by the way, just as a little preview, this motherfucker's 2 pages long. So
I'm trying so hard, bro. I'm trying so hard not to get 2020 vibes. I am.
Oh man, it's rough.
Kyle has came out and said there's no long-term ones yet. Knock on wood. But yeah, it's just, bruh. I just don't like Air Briggs freaking breaks his pinky.
Yeah, well, we'll get to that one. But I will say this: the only long-term one, for the most part, is like Ambry Thomas, Kalia Davis. Who knows what's going on, Frank? Some of these guys. But so obviously we'll start Ambry Thomas, broken forearm. That's just more than likely the last time we're going to see Ambry in a 49ers uniform, is what I think.
Yeah. It's the depth is definitely he can't hide behind that third round pick. status anymore. The depth's definitely gotten a lot deeper. Truthfully, honestly, even if he made the team, I don't want to even think about how many injuries we would have to suffer at cornerback before he would see.
Before we got to him, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I don't want to even think about that.
And then obviously we have Khalil Davis with his knee. He had the successful surgery today. I seen him posted up on Instagram. Get better, Khalil. We'll see you in November-ish.
Interesting side note. So apparently, I have to confirm this with my uncle. But my uncle is the dean of humanities and like music at University of Central Florida. He actually had when he was at University of Central Florida, he actually had a class with my uncle.
Yeah. Nice.
So my uncle was actually his professor. So I'm seeing if I can get a hold of my uncle to confirm that, and maybe that might get us a little connection with Khalil Davis to get him to come on the show or something like that. Because I am my uncle's favorite nephew. I'm his only nephew, but I am his favorite.
You gotta be number one in something, right? In some way.
Hey, as I tell my nephew all the time. I tell him, I'm like, you're my favorite nephew. You're also my only nephew.
Hey, still number one. Frank Darby has an undisclosed injury. I haven't been able to find anything on it. Cleared waivers now, and I want to say we released him actually with the IR. John Feliciano still out with knee soreness week to week. Talanoa Hufanga is being back into full go practice. Looks like he had a good meeting with his doctors. I want to say it was today or yesterday. CMC is yesterday. Okay. CMC's been working out the sideline. We all knew he was not actually injured, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
no.
I think one, he doesn't need the practice time. I'm not surprised we released Turner. That means we're going to go with some of those younger guys that had already on the team. But yeah, so they're saying that we're working him back in. No, this is just him doing stuff on the sideline because he wasn't going to play in the preseason. Like honestly, if you told me Trent, CMC, and maybe like Debo or George were like taking it off because they're just at that point in their careers where they just don't want to play preseason. Okay, I'm not worried about that. I know they'll be fine come week one.
No, okay. The big thing I'm worried about with Trent is I want that 2-week gap between our last preseason game and the first regular season game. That's where I'm looking for Trent to get some work. Yeah,
he could probably do it within a week, but I think you get 2 weeks in, and I think he comes back in at 100%. Yeah. I mean, but 85-90% of Trent is still better than 85-90% of the league. So.
Shit, 100% of. Have you seen tackle play in the NFL, bro?
True. Let's see. All right, so then we're going on to the injury list part deuce, for fuck's sakes.
Fucking.
Ricky Pearsall has brother did not get injured in 5 years in college, and then has turned into what's his name from the Sixth Sense. Yeah, Mr. Glass. He has turned into fucking Mr. Glass since being drafted. So now he's got a shoulder. Should be ready to go week one. We'll see. Aaron Branks broke a fucking pinky. Hopes to be ready by week one. Put some goddamn tape on that thing. Tape it to your other damn finger so you look like you're throwing West Side or whatever, and fucking go. I don't want to hear your shit. There's no excuse for Banks to not be playing week one. It's a fucking pinky finger.
He'll be there in a contract year at that. Yeah, he's putting some tape on it.
Oh, yeah, I guess it is unbreakable, not a Sixth Sense. I'm getting my what's-his-name movies wrong. Then we got Ben Barch, knee irritation. I'm irritated with all these goddamn injuries, but he's also not expected to miss any time. So,
I mean, what is knee irritation? Like, I mean,
my knee irritates the shit out of me every day. I mean, my knee hurts when I walk on it. I'm a fat guy. I've got no cartilage between my fucking knees. The shit hurts every day.
I mean, as I've gotten older, my broken arm has starting to affect me. Pretty like sometimes it could get, especially if I've been playing guitar a lot and have to strain it and everything like that. It'll get pretty rough. I honestly, Ricky Pearsall is the one that is. I want to be careful when I say concerning, because I think this is more of a. Look, the hamstring thing, I think that's more of a look, bro. Like, you've been playing workout all offseason, getting ready for the combine and all that. You actually get in the NFL practice. I believe it's the most injuries that happen to players in their rookie year, I believe, is within the first like week or two of camp. I read somewhere on like Instagram or something like that. So I think that's just strictly welcome to the NFL, kid. The thing that worries me the most about the Ricky Pearsall issues is oh man, RIP Chris Farley. You know something crazy? You know Chris Farley was supposed to play Shrek?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. I always like to do that. Like I know some of y'all might know this, some of y'all not, but the movie Baby Boy with Tyrese.
Mm-hmm.
That Tyrese's part was actually supposed to be played by Pac, but of course he died, and that's why they have the mural in Jody's room. That's why they have the mural of Tupac. That's something that the writers or whoever did as an homage to Tupac. But yeah, so I always like to imagine when you hear things like that. I like to imagine, especially characters like Shrek. Like we're so used to Michael Myers and everything in that character. Like what would it have been like with Chris Farley? You know?
Yeah, it would have been good.
I think it would have been funny.
All right, so that is the injury list stuff. So let's get to the transactions for this week. We signed wide receiver Robbie Chosen. Then we waived the injured wide receiver Frank Darby. Then we got Darby back because he cleared waivers, and so we put him on the injured reserve. Then we signed defensive lineman Nick Williams to a contract, and then we waived linebacker Ezekiel Turner. Like media had said earlier, he was a little surprised that we.
Yeah, I was too.
I'm not actually surprised. That just means that we're going to be leaning more towards our own young guys that we drafted and we're trying to bring up. So I see more. I think those guys are getting more. They've been more productive in practice, from what I've been hearing. And so to me, that's a good thing because that means that the guys that are the homegrown talent is going to get more of a chance at playing time and everything like that. Nick Williams, I'm not going to say nothing special. You know, he's a little bit of a journeyman. Like I said, we are getting a little short on defensive linemen and stuff like that in there. And then we also, on the 15th, we waived wide receiver Tariq Owens with an injury settlement. Now, I'm not quite sure with that. If we waive him with an injury settlement, is he free to sign with another team this year? I'm not 100% sure.
I believe so.
If he is,
I believe. Yeah, I believe so. I'm not 100% sure, not 1,000% sure. That's never really happened, as far as I remember, to a player of note. You know?
Yeah.
So I've always thought that does, because I know you can't cut somebody while they're injured.
Yeah.
You know, so I believe that's probably the way that they get out of it. So I would assume, I don't know though. That'll be something, you know what? That'll be my homework over the weekend. I'll see if I can find out some more information about that.
Okay. And then your thoughts about getting Robbie Chosen.
I mean, okay. Look, to me, and I hate to say this because, you know, we're barely past the, you know, first preseason game and everything like that. I think the wide receiver room's set, personally. You know, I think at this point this is a practice body to simply get through the rest of camp. You know, get some people through the games. I know Kyle had, I don't know if you have a slide for that, but Kyle said that he expects some of the ones to play. I mean, Debo, I wouldn't think he would play just because Debo's looked ready. I mean, Debo's looked like it's the playoffs. You know, Debo's, I remember telling you in camp, I just seemed to be writing 19 down on a lot in my playbook. I felt the same way about number one. There were multiple catches. Like Debo came in this year as a contract year for Debo, whether it be getting a new contract with the Niners or, you know, displaying himself for other teams next year. So that's how I'm looking at it. I mean, cool practice squad player. I'm like Eric Davis used to say all the time on his podcast. He used to say, I want all the good players on my team. So
yeah,
with the way that Kyle goes through receivers, with the concern of Ricky Pearsall, of the one concern that we've heard from pretty much since we drafted him is, look, he's going to get open, but, you know, can he handle the physicality of the NFL? Because he's not a big dude. You know, I remember looking at him at camp, and I'm like, you know, Like, I ideally love it if you could spend a year in the gym, get your body right and everything like that, and come see you in 2025 training camp. But obviously, you're not going to do that to a first round pick.
No, but yeah, I thought I actually put that one up, brother. I didn't. I thought I put that one up. Because I didn't put this one. I was like, no, I thought I did put that one up.
I know that he practiced today, so I would assume media. Yeah, I'm assuming you're going to get your Jacob Cowing.
Yeah, definitely would like to see a little bit of him. We'll talk about that when we get to the game.
Yeah,
I'm not too big on Robbie Chosen. Honestly, when he first came into the league, in my dynasty league, I picked him up because I thought he was going to have, he had really good speed, had some, good wingspan and all that kind of stuff. I thought he could make something of himself, kind of thing, but just never really amounted to much. And then he played for Miami last year for a little bit, but like that said, I don't think he's no longer chosen. I think no one is choosing to, that's the reason why no one chosen to be on the team. Yeah. To start training camp. We will see what's left in there.
Yeah. Somebody keep your eye on Sunday.
Yeah. We need the Silverback back. I'm not even changing this slide from last week. Everybody agrees? Good? We good? Everybody agree? All right.
This is the one thing that and it's even tied up with BA is now apparently the latest report is it's just some structural stuff that they got to work out with BA. And,
I heard something about the last year on his contract.
Yeah, last year he needs to figure out some basically, I guess, the funny money going into the end of the contract to make it average, 28 or whatever the hell they want to make it average. My whole frustrating thing about this, and I feel a little less about this, about Trent, just because specifically who he is. But if you were going to fold on BA, and if you were going to ultimately come and meet him where he wanted, you're going to do that the week of August 16th.
Yeah.
So apparently you've been in these negotiations since March. Now we know sometime around May they stopped negotiations. So fine. So March, April, and May. You're eventually, and this is going back to the Bosa situation. And Bosa was even more frustrated because you knew you were going to sign him. You knew Nick Bosa wasn't getting traded. So what is this posturing? We're trying to get ready to win a Super Bowl. We're trying to be the first team in the NFC in Super Bowl history to win a Super Bowl the year after we lose it. And you've got your ex-receiver and your ex-receiver jogging on a side field, which is an improvement because he's actually working out.
Yeah,
and
he's at least there now.
And you got your left tackle, we assume somewhere in Houston. Does anybody really know where Trent is? And for what? Like, we know the Niners are going to get, like I said last week, the only thing I'm not folding in is I want guarantee, because I'm not guaranteeing giving Trent Williams a 3-year contract fully guaranteed or any type of guarantees if he can't guarantee me that he's going to play for 3 more years. Yes.
100%.
So even more to my point. So we all know that the Niners are going to fold. They're going to give Trent Williams what he wants. So you've decided to do this August 16th?
Yeah.
For what? For what? For what? To win a negotiation, to try to, like, I understand negotiations and everything like that, but I'm talking about the individual case of Trent Williams. You're going to pay him what he asks for. Like, you have no other option. There's nobody. Joe Staley ain't unretiring, bruh. And honestly, with how skinny he's gotten, I don't even want Joe Staley to be on. Maybe tight end.
He might be a tight end / wide receiver with all the weight he's lost.
Yeah. So this is my thing about it. When we go into next year with Brock, I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt. Hey, franchise quarterback. We all know Brock's the one. All that. I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt. But it better not be August 16th and we're seeing Brock Purdy throw on a side field because he hasn't, because he's holding in and hasn't signed a contract. or we better have a damn good backup option, in case he wants to take this all the way. Because what's your backup option of Trent? Just chalk
more.
Chalk up the season. Hey, we'll see y'all in 2025. I mean, that's your plan basically. If Trent Williams doesn't play for the Niners this year, is y'all tipping your caps and saying we'll see y'all in 2025.
And hopefully Brock's in one piece, man. Then.
Lord Jesus.
All right, so before we move on to the next slide, we're going to do some ad reads, and then we'll be right back.
One.
No, I moved it.
Okay. Okay. Today's episode is sponsored by Power Brand Systems. Need help getting new customers for your business? Let Power Brand Systems help you grow with their powerful tools. Visit powerbrandsystems.com/Niner Faithful Radio for more info. Follow us on social media at Niner Faithful Radio on Facebook, Instagram, Tumblr, and TikTok, and at Niner Faithful R on X. If you like our content and would like to support the show, consider leaving us a tip in our tip jar at ninerfaithfulradio.us/tip jar. Join our exclusive membership community where you get exclusive NFR content not available anywhere else. Join our exclusive chat, 20% off of all non-sale For the Faithful by the Faithful gear, and much more. Visit portal.ninerfaithfulradio.us/login to join. All right. So, we want to thank all our sponsors for helping, keep the lights on here at Niner Faithful Radio. Also, we're going to go ahead and I got to redo another ad read because I got to add some other stuff into it. But we're gonna make an ad for this. If you are a YouTube creator, we went ahead and put a link in the description for you to go ahead and join the Power Brands family. Christian, Marco, really good dudes. They've done a lot for us. Jason's loving the social media tool that they got. One-stop shop. So go ahead and visit the link in the description if you are a YouTube content creator and would be interested in joining the Power Brand family.
All right, so something a little different besides, the usual stuff that we're talking about. I don't know if you've seen this article was put up by Dan Orlovsky. He ranked quarterbacks in different categories and stuff like that. So I think we talk about how he ranked them. And obviously, depending on if Purdy is in those categories, if you think it's a fair or if he should be in those. All right, so the first one that he has is arm strength. In there, he has Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, Matthew Stafford, Aaron Rodgers, Will Levis, Baker Mayfield, Anthony Richardson, Dak Prescott, and Lamar Jackson. Are you surprised at all Brock is not in this one?
No, and I think that's fair. I think if we're being truly honest, take off our Niner hats and be unbiased, I think that's fair. Arm strength is definitely not one of.
I mean, he can throw a long ball, but he doesn't gun it. You know what I mean? He's just not going to. But I mean, it doesn't. And a lot of people talks about it. It doesn't necessarily mean that you can't throw a long ball. Which, if you look at Brock throws a really good long ball for the most part. He just can't gun it in there, kind of a thing. Okay. So
I think that's a fair assessment.
Okay. All right. And so the next one we have is ball placement. And these are all in order of how he ranked them, by the way.
Okay.
I say that. With this one, he has Joe Burrows, Tua, Mahomes, Stafford, C.J. Stroud, Purdy, Geno Smith, Dak Prescott, Jared Goff, and I was like, Geno and Dak? And then number 10 is Josh Allen. So again, we got Burrows, Tua, Mahomes, Stafford, and Stroud above Brock Purdy, who comes in at number 6. How do you feel about that one?
I'm not saying that Brock needs to be number 1. I'm okay with it being Joe Burrow. I'm fine with that. But I mean, to have Tua, you and I watched Tua live, brother. I thought, and it's literally not even first act like, hey, get in there, Rook. The situation. I thought he outplayed Tua that day.
Agreed.
Yeah, and so I'm not going to pretend to be, Mr. Expert of Dolphins football or anything like that, but yeah, I'm a little slighted because I feel that after watching the basically year and a half we watched Brock at quarterback, I think one of the things you could say he is elite at is ball placement.
Yeah,
I think that's what Brock survives the quarterback position by being extremely accurate, ball placement / accuracy, and processing. Those are the two things that I think you're going to hang your hat on with Brock Purdy.
Which that'll be another thing we'll get into for the first.
Okay.
That. I'm okay with this. I'm more worried about the guys under Brock than I am with him because other than maybe C.J. Stroud at 5 over Brock, I'm okay with Burrows, Tua, Patrick, and then Stafford. I'm not saying that C.J. Stroud is not a good quarterback with his ball placement. I just don't know if I would put him above Brock. But as far as Geno, Dak, Jared, and then Josh Allen, it's like, Geno, Dak, I don't know about those guys being there.
Yeah. Geno it's Dak's reputation. Dak is Mr. Regular Season. I don't know. Jared Goff. See, I think there might be a little fantasy land in Detroit, which I'll get it. Sometimes all you need is a new scenery, and everything.
Yeah.
Shit, I mean, Steve turned it into a Hall of Fame career. Steve was getting ready to get washed out of the league until Bill traded for him.
Yeah.
So fine, but I think that there's what he's done in Detroit it's a little bit of a recency bias because let's not forget there were some times in that he played the Niners with the Yams that he looked atrocious.
Yeah.
Anything he kept us in the game. Yeah, so I'm okay. Tua above Brock in this particular category just doesn't sit right with me.
I think the reason why Tua is above Brock is because if there's one thing Tua is really damn good at is throwing that deep ball to like Tyreek. And he seems to hit him perfectly with that all the time. So, all right. And so we'll move on to the next topic or the next category was mechanics. We've got Burrows, Stafford, Herbert, Stroud, Prescott, Goff, Tua, Rodgers, Purdy, Trevor Lawrence.
Whew.
I kind of agree with this one because how often do we necessarily see Brock sit in a perfectly clean pocket and get to throw? So
when does
a
he
lot
have
of
the
times,
opportunity to?
But that's my point is that even if he does have, like say he gets a perfect pocket for the majority of the time and he throws it perfectly with mechanics, we don't get to see it. So he may have the best mechanics and the prettiest, just arm with throw and follow through.
Yeah.
But we don't see it because, again, he's on the move so much.
I've heard this, and, I'll admit that I keep myself I keep myself in an echo chamber with the fact that I only really fully listen to content that has to do with, like, for example, there was a clip yesterday. I was actually trying to download it. There was a clip yesterday from the Pat McAfee show where they straight up asked Bill Belichick, about the situation with Kyle handing, offering him pretty much any position he wanted in the organization besides head coach. And the reason I didn't clip it is he really didn't say anything. He really pretty much said, I'm going to keep private conversations private. And I just felt like that wasn't worth the time clipping it. But apparently there's a narrative thinking that Brock's about to fall off a cliff. And I wonder if this is a little bit of what that is because, like I said, I'm not saying Brock is number one. I truly haven't seen a category where I felt Brock should have been number one yet, personally.
Yeah.
I just haven't seen a category where I'm like, damn, they're giving Brock some big disrespect here.
Yeah.
But I wonder if that is because some of these quarterbacks that yet again.
What's
Tua
up, Rick?
above
How you
him,
doing, brother?
Which fine, Tua's mechanics are fine and everything like that. Mechanics, I'm not insulted so much that Brock Purdy, some of the quarterbacks are listed above Brock. What's up, Rick? How you doing? Some of the quarterbacks that are listed above Brock, but
Well, like I said, we just haven't seen it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wait till we get, we had an all-star offensive line. Then let's see what there. But so I'm not necessarily mad that, he's all the way down at number 9 on this one.
I'll specifically say this about Dak. Give Brock Dak's fucking the Cry Girls offensive line and see.
We'll see.
Yeah, well, the Ito
completely different.
Give him that offensive line, bruh.
Yeah. All right. And so the next one we are talking about decision making with the football. We've got Rodgers, Stafford, Burrow, Stroud, Purdy, Love, Mahomes, Dak. I don't know, I keep calling him Doc. Goff, and Cousins. This one to me is like, what? Aaron Rodgers throws so many 50-50 balls. It's nuts. Matthew Stafford, I think for the most part, does a good job. Same thing with Joe Burrow. So I'm not, again, it's almost like they're deliberately putting CJ Stroud over Brock in every category. Whatever. I still again, CJ Stroud's an amazing young quarterback. Jordan Love. Let's see what Jordan Love does for more than 8-9 games.
That's what I'm saying.
Especially the first half of the season, he was terrible,
and he looked real bad those final 2 drives of the playoff game last year. Yeah. Let's not forget they got the ball back with a chance to win that game.
They did, but like I said, it's like you're putting him one behind Brock, who, like I said, it's just like, come on. Patrick Mahomes, I thought was a little low on here at number 7. Yeah, he doesn't. He runs around a lot, and look at some of the plays he makes. You can't tell me when he does his sidearm, underhand, backwards thing across the field to Kelsey. That is an amazing decision making. Yeah, it's pulling some shit out of his ass, but at the same time, he saw it. That's good decision making. And then Kirk Cousins at number 10. I'm like, where did he come from? Just randomly.
Right? Like, not on the list. Like, at least we're seeing some of the same quarterbacks. Maybe positions change. But we're seeing a lot of the same quarterbacks on this list. And I'm not necessarily disagreeing with the quarterbacks that are on the list, per se. Mm-hmm. I mean, maybe you can nitpick 1 or 2 in a certain category. I'm just more arguing about where they're at in the category. I said this, and I do think Brock's processing is elite. Where I remember we kind of talked about this, throughout the offseason and everything like that, is there were a couple close ones last year. There were a couple of decisions that, I remember they were asking Chris Forrester on what it's going to take for CMC to repeat as rushing champ of the NFL. And he said, a lot of that is fickle. Like, for example, take the run against the Steelers to open up the second half. Maybe CMC gets tackled this year. A couple of those. Oh God, that was like that had me so fired up. Oh, I was like, man, Brock is a cocky son of a bitch, bro. I love it.
Like I said, Steph Sanchez said it best. She was like, for a man of God, what he does in the field Sundays is the most unholy thing of all time. I mean,
it is definitely
that is the best description of Brock right there.
You know how they always say, lady in the street,
lady in the sheet, freaks in the bit. Yep.
Yeah, I think that's kind of like Brock. Humble and everything. On the street, but
he is low,
get him all that field,
arrogant, cocky son of a bitch out there, man. But then he walks off. He said, "Oh yes, I'm blocking."
It's just
I love how it is,
Like there was a video of him. They got the fire station number 13 in the city, and they have all the different Bay Area sports team 13's jerseys. So they brought Brock. They made him a fireman helmet with number 13 and all that. Yeah. So anyway, but just seeing him interact with them. This is after practice. Brock could have been, hey, thanks guys, appreciate you, sign this jersey. Been like, God bless, and did it move it.
Yeah.
But he stayed there and he interacted with them and everything like that. But yeah, this is always my debate with people who and I'm not saying this is a bad thing at all, but people who wear the religion on their sleeves, Kurt Warner, giving the shout out, thank you, Jesus, in his first, when he won the Super Bowl with the Yams and everything like that, is, do they cuss on the field? I think Brock does. I think Brock will drop a few F-bombs or something like that, or shut the fuck up, during in the huddle or something like that. Like, I do. I think there's definitely some things that Brock has to ask for forgiveness for on Monday from the Lord.
Yeah, I agree with you. Kind of like, with what's his name? The defensive lineman for the Eagles back in the day.
Reggie White.
Reggie White. You know that man, he was asking forgiveness after every play. After what he did to people. The one arm swing over, he's like, I'm sorry, Jesus, please forgive me for knocking this grown man to his ass with one arm.
I knew that there was so one of my group home staff went to high school with Anquan Bolden, right? And I know we've heard Kyle talk about Jeff Wilson Jr., going to that dark place and everything like that. Dean's mom, my group home staff's mom, died of AIDS, right? And he would say that Anquan would come up to him before every game. They're all sitting there listening to their music in their headphones or whatever like that. And Dean said he used to imagine he would just pick up somebody on the other team, I mean, like a lot of these, he's from a small town in Florida, so a lot of these people are like all neighbors and everything like that. So everybody on the other team, and he would just particularly pick one player on his team, and he would imagine that dude was the one that gave his mom the needle that gave her AIDS, and everything. And he said Anquan would come up to him and say, "Boy, he did it. He did. That's right. That nigga did that shit." And Dean would just picture that, and imagine how dark that is, bro. Like, you're imagining somebody being the one who basically killed your mother,
And then there's your teammate who's coming in, like he's got the knife. And he's just like, here, let me rub it in just a little bit more.
Woo, bro. I'm sorry to get chills for thinking about it. But
I'm not a person of God for any reason, but I love the fact that I like the fact that he's very open with it. I got no problem with that.
Yeah,
but then on the field, it's like he is a completely different person. I think he gets off on it a little bit. I really do.
I think Brock reminds me of me, like in the sense of like, a little bit more religious than me. But like, if you put a gun to my head and said, "He is Jesus Christ, your Lord and Savior," I would say yes. But y'all hear me on this, bro. I'm she-cocks every other word. You know what I'm saying? Like, so anyway. Brock's decision making. I'll just say this: we might feel a little bit different if a couple balls, if the fluke to Ayuk doesn't happen and that ball is picked. Like, let's be real, it should have been. If
it bounced around enough to where it should have.
Yeah,
there was another one in that game. A few plays earlier that should have been picked.
There's a couple, as I've watched some of these highlights from Brock last year, there's been a couple moments. There seems to be a few more rewatching it than watching it live last season. So that's something that if you say, T, where could Brock improve? I do believe decision making, not saying he's not good, but decision making is something he can improve on.
But you also want him to still throw those balls, because that brings up that's that gunslinger in him, to where you don't want him to be shy for throwing that stuff. So it's like it's a very fine line. He's like, okay,
it is.
I'm gonna throw this ball to take this chance, and just hope and pray that it doesn't get picked off, because I'm not putting it in the best place.
Hey, what we all say? Does 9 times out of 10 does Joey even attempt to throw to Dwight for the catch?
Right.
I mean,
all right, so
history's full of them, bro.
Yep. All right, the next one, pocket presence. All right, so we got Mahomes, Burrows, Stroud, Stafford, Lamar, Purdy, Love, Allen, Geno, Dak.
I'm still not putting Geno in there, bro. I'm not putting Geno in pocket presence.
I'm kind of torn with Stafford on this one, because while I think he doesn't have the worst pocket presence ever, I don't think he is mobile enough anymore to where he's like, okay, look, there's a guy coming here. I need to move. Or so, you know what I mean? Like everybody else, they could probably is young enough, they're good enough to move. I don't think Stafford has that, unless we're talking about Stafford just throwing away the ball. which it doesn't
yeah.
say. It doesn't take into that account. If it's just throwing away, the way it's written out is just to move around. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes is
he's
a magician at it. CJ Stroud, yes. Burrows, yes. Lamar, yes. Brock, yes. Love, yes. Allen, yes.
Let me ask you this. You know, this is I think this all gets lost a little bit, but would you say, obviously not the full factor, but how huge was Brock's legs, especially in the NFC Championship game, but a little bit in the Whackers game? People seem to forget that before the CMC game-winning touchdown, it was a Brock scramble that got us that close in the Whackers game. People seem to forget that. I would dare say Brock's pocket presence is underrated because there's been times his legs or his ability to move and extend plays, the 2 touchdowns that you think of, the one in the Steelers game and the one in the Commanders game last year, the 2 BA touchdowns. What happened? Brock's pocket presence allowed him to roll out of the pocket, move within the pocket and find BA open. So I honestly think Brock should be higher.
Yeah. And it's kind of funny because let's be honest, Brock only has the one move. He gets everybody with that little.
But he does that. He does the shit out that move, baby.
I mean, he doesn't have much. He has one move. But damn, he does that damn move so damn.
I mean,
everybody stops and looks at him. So like, all right, where's that little hitch thing gonna come? And they just keep coming at him, and then he does it. They're like, oh shit, there he went. Every single person.
Mean, let's be real. You could say Randy Moss just basically one route.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not
go deep.
Bad.
That was Randy Moss's Hall of Fame career. Go deep.
I mean, I'd like to see him develop. Maybe that move going the other direction, but fuck, it works. All right, the next one is the rushing ability. It goes Lamar, Josh Allen, Anthony Richardson, Jalen Hurts, Justin Fields, Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrows, Kyler Murray, Trevor Lawrence. What? How is Brock not even on this list?
Okay, so number 1 was Lamar.
Lamar, yeah, okay.
Okay, yeah. I'll give you Lamar. 2.
Josh Allen, okay. He's the running back for his team. Anthony Richardson, how do we know? He barely got through his rookie season.
I'm like, you're putting him over Patrick Mahomes, which I understand. You don't think of Patrick Mahomes like a Lamar, like a Cap. He's not that type of quarterback. But I mean, I don't know. 4th and 1 in the overtime of the Super Bowl will tell me he could scramble pretty damn good.
Yeah.
I don't know. A little personal. I think Patrick Mahomes can scramble just fine.
Yeah. So like I said, I don't get
the disrespect to have and Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, at 10. I mean,
Trevor Lawrence over Brock Purdy. Literally, Fred Warner called him out and said, "Hey, they don't know the play or they don't know what they're doing." And he goes, "You're right, we don't." They pick up the audio in the game cast of Fred Warner telling the defense they don't know the play, they don't know what they're doing, and Trevor Lawrence straight up looks at him and says, "Yeah, you're right, we don't." It's right there, as clear as day in the audio.
The only person that Trevor Lawrence is outrunning when it comes to scrambling is Peyton Manning. And they're you know what I mean? And Peyton Manning had one boot his entire career. And legend says he's still running that boot for that touchdown right now. I mean, that was the longest bootleg I've ever seen for.
Shit, I would put Alex Smith over Trevor Lawrence. I mean, that's not a shot at Alex. I'm just saying, I'll put Alex with one broken leg. Shit.
Yeah.
Alex with a broken
have you seen
leg
the
probably
picture
still
of his
can
leg?
scoot. Oh, bro, I don't even want to think about that, bro.
Ooh, that leg is ugly. I mean, yes, after everything. But yeah, so, I mean, Jalen Hurts, I got no problem. Jalen Hurts is good. Yeah. Justin Fields, that's debatable if he's actually better. But like you said, you got Patrick Mahomes at 6. Kyler Murray, okay, but Kyler Murray runs all over. But
I'll
Trevor
give
Lawrence, whatever.
Yeah, that's just no.
All right, and then in the last category, we've got second reaction ability. We've got Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Brock Purdy, Jordan Love, Caleb Williams. He's a fucking rookie. And he played
that's disrespectful.
Dak Prescott, Jalen Hurts, Gardner Minshew. Like, don't get me wrong, I like me some Gardner Minshew.
That's a little.
And then Justin Herbert. This one is just what everything past 4 is like. What the fuck?
Yeah, see, that's where, like, Brock is better than 4, but you have to respect the quarterbacks that are ahead of him.
Yeah, I've got no problem putting those 3 ahead of him when it comes to second reaction.
No. I have no, like, Brock is better than 4. It's just legitly there are 3 other people better than him. So
yeah, it's like, okay, you're 4, but these other guys have been doing it for almost, at least 5 to 10 years. So
and I mean,
somewhere that cool.
Let's be real. Probably the most ridiculous run I've ever seen live in person. I was a baby when Steve did the run against the Vikings. But probably the craziest run I've seen in my life was Lamar right before halftime on Christmas last year.
Oh,
and like
I'm still got nightmares on that shit.
Like Lamar, the one where he ran over the ref. Lamar Jackson, to me, like, I remember John Madden used to say about Steve Young that he believes he was the only quarterback that could play running back in the NFL. Let's be real. If Lamar Jackson had a shit arm, he'd be a running back.
He'd be a running back, yeah.
He just has, yeah. Oh, I actually kind of scared to see Lamar Jackson in the backfield.
If that was his only thing to do, yeah.
Don't give John Harbaugh any ideas. I got one real quick. I know this is off the list. I know we're winding up here pretty quick, but I wanted to real quick. So I saw this tweet this week, trying to update for BA News. And this person, Niners have been through a lot of heartache, obviously like that and everything like that. What would hurt worse? Losing to Patrick, Niners make it to the Super Bowl this year. They lose. What would hurt worse? Losing again to Patrick Mahomes, losing to Jim Harbaugh, or I forget the last one. But out of those two, what would hurt worse? Losing to Jim Harbaugh, or you lose to Patrick Mahomes again?
Mahomes again.
See, I'm going to say Harbaugh.
See, I think Mahomes again because it's like, it's one fucking player.
Yeah.
One. And it's just like, we can't beat one team. It's like, there's a, would we have won out of Super Bowls if we played anybody but Mahomes?
I literally
if we lose to him for a third time.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, at that point, I'm just like, okay, he's the fucking goat. I got nothing, you know what I mean?
It's to me, I remember one of the most heartbreaking things I remember asking you when we did the Super Bowl review, and the thing that kind of hurt the worst. And I looked at you and I said, Jason, are we the 1980s Bengals? When we look back, and we say, hey, we would have won 2 championships if, like, what do the Bengals say? If we did not play Joe Montana twice, we would have 2 championships. Are we just going to be the Bengals where we say, hey, if we didn't play Patrick Mahomes 2-3 times, whatever, we didn't play Joe Flacco and the fucking most greatest luck, pulled out of your ass, best chance of your career, and Patrick Mahomes twice, would we have 1 to 3 championships?
Yeah.
And that's how it. So I get why you're saying Patrick Mahomes, because that would literally be how it felt. It'd be like, dude, like, are we just never going to win just because simply we play Patrick Mahomes?
At that point, we just call him daddy. I mean, seriously, because that's going to be the joke.
Yeah.
At that point, we just start calling Patrick Mahomes daddy. That will be the joke if we lose a third time for that.
It's the same thing I said after this year is that, look, when we play the Chiefs, am I going to be fired up? Yeah. Is my pregame speech going to be, all this shit and everything like that? But as you and I both correctly, I think, said last year, we needed not to treat the Eagles like we won the fucking Super Bowl. right? Like that's what we said last year. This is not the Super Bowl. Like, yeah, we were all fired up. We all loved Debo waving bye-bye. You know, I was singing Cry Eagles Cry on Tuesday, all those things, but we needed to act like it wasn't the Super Bowl. I don't care if we beat them 99-0.
Yeah.
All they're going to be able to do is go.
Yeah. I got
you know,
the two that count, we beat you. Now, I don't give a damn about the rest.
So, I mean, is that literally what it's going to be? I mean, Harbaugh is strictly because of who it is.
Yeah, I mean, that would hurt.
It would hurt, but I could honestly, we'd be a lie, Jason, if we sat here and think that there would be any faithful who wouldn't say they would be happy for Jim Harbaugh.
No.
We'd be a fool. We'd be a fool to think there's not one single person in the empire that would not be happy for Jim Harbaugh winning the Super Bowl.
I think I'd give Harbaugh a slow clap. I'd be like, you know what I mean? That little golf clap.
I would call him all sorts of bitch niggas. Yeah.
I think
I'm not a slow clapping shit.
Harbaugh beats us in the Super Bowl. I'm giving the man a slow clap. Like, look, all right, man. You got the better of us, but obviously it's still gonna hurt. But I would take losing to Harbaugh in the Super Bowl than losing a third fucking time to Patrick fucking Mahomes and the Chiefs.
Like, yeah, at that point, I just because I said I went and I think it was training camp. I was talking to somebody and I said, look, honestly, truthfully, I thought our best matchup in the Super Bowl last year was against the Chiefs. I thought it was going to be a rough one, a tough one going against the Ravens, just because what I saw Christmas, that's legit. That was like Brock struggled, like they whooped our ass. They were probably about the only team last year that
had the number.
You could say gave us a thorough ass whooping. What was the Ravens? See, even that, we were coming back, and okay, you could say it collapsed towards the end, but I mean, from the moment Brock, when Brock threw that red zone pick to Kyle Hamilton, basically until the final whistle, I mean, minus those two garbage drives by Sam Darnold, that was an ass whooping, bro. I will not say that again. You know what? I'll take my chances with the Ravens, and hey, if you can make Brock have another worst game of his career, then I tip my cap to you, and everything like that. But I'm not trying to see number 15, in New Orleans in February, bro. Like that's my biggest fear as a faithful. I'm more afraid of seeing Patrick Mahomes in another Super Bowl than I am of pretty much almost anybody getting injured on the Niners, minus like Trent, Brock, and Debo or CMC, pretty much, and Bosa. Besides Brock, Trent, CMC, Bosa, and Warner, as long as you guarantee me those players are healthy, the only thing I have a bigger fear for in this season is seeing number 15 in February in New Orleans.
All right, so we're going to move on to the next slide, which does have a little bit of an interview from Richard Sherman talking to Demo about Steve Wilkes and an idea that Demo had going into the Super Bowl last year.
Did you hear it? I can't hear it.
You can't hear it? It's coming through on mine perfectly.
Can y'all hear it in the chat? I've already seen it, so I don't need to hear it. Can y'all hear it in the chat? Let us know in the comments if y'all can hear it. If they can hear it, then go ahead and just run it. Because I've already watched it, so I know what he's talking about.
It's coming through on the stream.
Y'all watching? Okay, so it's coming through on the stream.
Yeah.
Then just rock with it, bro. If it's coming through on the stream.
Well, let's just go. I mean, so basically, long story short, on what went on with this, Demo went up to Steve Wilkes because he thought that his best was that he wasn't worried about their outside receivers. He was worried about their inside, mainly who's their main inside receiver, Travis Kelce. Doesn't mean that Demo was necessarily going to be covering Travis Kelce, but from what he was watching, as he was going through his game reads and everything like that, was that He wanted to actually play inside and cover those guys because he thought those guys were going to be more of a factor than those playing on the outside. He went to Steve Wilkes. Steve Wilkes did nothing with that information, as far as we know. Whether he blew off Demo or he said, okay, yeah, but we're going to do this, blah, 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 we don't know. Basically, and then Sherman says to him, hey, man, next time you have an intuition like that, don't go to your DC. Go to Kyle. Kyle's going to be appreciative and actually listen to a player who says, hey, you know what? For this game, I'm going to be more important and more valuable to this team if I play inside than if I play outside. And here's why. And, like I said, again, we're not sure what's going on the audio, but Demo went down. He broke down everything about how he was going to be more effective with stopping the Kansas City offense, which says a lot because we stopped them pretty damn good up until Dre Greenlaw got hurt.
Yeah.
So imagine how much better it would have been had Demo been right about moving to the inside for this game. Your thoughts on that, whether it be with, Steve Wilkes going to, do you think going to Kyle would have actually gotten some sort of change like that?
I mean, let's be real. The reason Steve Wilkes was put on the sideline last year is because the players went to Kyle and said, get his ass out of the booth. Right? I mean, this is clear. We've seen it. And see, this is the narrative I hated coming out of the Super Bowl. Because I said this to John Tapman. He agreed to me. We said it to Josh when we had him on the other week. He agreed with me. I've said it to you. Pretty much everybody I've said this to has agreed with me. I thought the first half, I basically thought when you look at the Super Bowl, of the totality of the Super Bowl, defense played about what they did the whole year. Right? Like that's pretty much what the defense got last year. Like, if anything, the first half was probably one of our best defensive performances, maybe except against Jacksonville.
Probably better just because of looking at the offense that Kansas City has. I mean, they did nothing. Nothing.
Nada. Basically, they didn't do – basically, we handed them their first points with the Luter fumble.
Yep.
That's basically like,
they don't score, have we just recovered it?
Simple. So I hate this narrative that says, Steve Wilkes was the scapegoat. That basically Steve Wilkes was fired because he was the scapegoat after the Super Bowl. And look, you and I were both critical. We both put this Super Bowl loss on Kyle. We both did. Maybe for different reasons. But we both put it on Kyle.
I had no problem with how Wilkes ran the defense in the Super Bowl.
To me, this speaks to schematic, beyond anything. I think this right here speaks to the biggest reason of them all why Steve Wilkes is no longer our DC, because he cannot communicate with our players. And this is Demo we're talking about. You don't think Fred Warner came with him with tips about like, hey, I'm not a fucking free safety. I'm the best linebacker in the NFL. Stop trying to turn me into a free safety. I mean, I thought Steve Wilkes came in and basically was hired off of reputation. I'm not going to pretend like I'm a connoisseur of Steve Wilkes' coaching career, but I don't really personally remember him doing much except with Carolina, much to toot his horn. And so to me, what my follow-up question, if I were able to interview Steve Wilkes after this, right, and say, okay, hey, Demo came out and said some controversial things and everything like that, I would ask Steve Wilkes, I'd be like, well, did you look into it? Did you at least take the information that Demo gave you, looked into it, and said, hey, in my 30, 20 years of coaching experience, I believe he's wrong, and I believe this is the best game plan going forward? Or did you simply just say, we're going to run what we run, and that's that?
Yeah.
Because honestly, if it's the latter, no wonder the nigga ain't got a job. Like, I hate to see a man unemployed. He has a family. He has kids. So, Niners are probably still playing. Niners are still paying his contract, so it ain't like he's broke. But beyond scheme-wise, because look, I don't know if any of your coaches ever said this to you, Jason, but I got told all the time, it's not the Jimmys and Joe, it's not the X's and O's, it's the Steves and Joes, or the Jerry and Joes. Right? I don't know if y'all ever heard of that. It's not the X's and O's, it's the Jerry's and Joes, that win football games. So if and especially with, I wouldn't say reputation with Demo, because let's be real, it was the playoffs 2 years ago and then last year when he started to come on. But I think that anybody who listens to Demo knows he watches film. He's smart. So if Steve Wilks didn't at least go give it to an assistant and say, hey, Demo came with me with this information. I need you to go check it out and tell me what you think, if it's worth me looking into. If he at least didn't do that, that's negligence. That if he didn't at least send an assistant to go figure out if what Demo was making made sense, right? Because let's be real, it wasn't Steve Wilks that moved Demo into the slot last year. It was Kyle.
Yeah.
Kyle was the one that said Demo was going to play in the slot. So ultimately, what are my final thoughts on this? Yeah, I could see even more. The more that's came out, the more time that's gone by, I could definitely see things of this nature being the reason why the man doesn't have a job.
Yeah, I'm looking to see if he's coaching anywhere right now.
I doubt it. Why? Niners are still paying his contract.
Yeah, but I mean, he can still want to coach somewhere, and I'm not. Yeah, he's not coaching right now.
Yeah, so I mean, whatever. Kick back. I believe he lives in South Carolina. So kick back in South Carolina, get paid by the Niners, But yeah, this information does not surprise me one bit.
All right, so the last thing we got on here, speaking of Demo, we've got a preseason game this weekend up against the Saints. Kyle Shanahan has said that the starters are going to play some. With the 5,000 people that we have on injured reserve and injured this, honestly, they get to play one. They get to play one series. If that series goes past like 5 or 6 plays, start pulling them.
Yep.
That's the way I don't want to see anybody, especially like Brock, our main big guys. I don't want to see them out there for more than like 5 or 6 plays. I don't give a damn if we're moving the ball and all that. Pull them.
I would say this. If you say 5 plays, Jason, 4 of them are handoffs. They're like, I'm not getting Brock killed. I'm not like obviously I'm going to be at the game on Sunday. I'm not seeing because I would not look. I understand Brock has to play. Let's be real. He has to play. I'm pretty confident. Even if Trent signed, Trent's not playing in the preseason. Trent's not playing in the preseason. So, yeah, if he's in there for 5 plays, I'm giving 4 handoffs. I'm not getting number 13 killed.
And the one pass is a quick drop. It's a 3-step drop off.
3-step, a jet sweep. One of those Jimmy passes that looked like a handoff that technically looked like a handoff, but was technically still a pass.
It's a slant to Trent Taylor.
Yeah, there you go. A slant to Trent Taylor.
So 3-step drop. Where's Trent Taylor?
I'm telling you, Brock, you get to one miss. The ball better be out of your hand, brother.
Not even one. It's just as soon as that back foot plants, throw. I don't give a damn where it goes. Just throw it.
Chuck it into the stands. I don't give a shit.
Yeah. So obviously, other than the starters getting the hell out of there, who are you looking for the most with having a big game with these guys? One player offense, one player defense.
One player offense. I want to see Pooney. I want to see Pooney. Look, there's nothing there's nothing going to be that Debo's going to show me in this game that makes me feel that he's more ready for the season. There's nothing that Juwan Jennings can show me. There's nothing I need to see from, Aaron Banks isn't playing. Maybe some Brindle, like the offensive line. Yeah, there is some things that, but if you ask player specific, offensively, I'm pretty sure like starter wise, we're pretty set. The one thing I definitely do want to see is see some Pooney, because that's the one that, he's had a great camp. I know, Jason, you've been on the hype train since, day one. is that that's the one that I'm like, okay, let's see, big boy. I'm a believer, but seeing it live and direct, the Aints are going to play their guys too, and Greg Williams is going to blitz. He's going to blitz the hell out of us.
He's going to fucking come all day long.
He's going to come all night long. So I'm definitely curious to see who Pooney is. Defensively, look, there's nothing that Bam Bam's going to show me. There's nothing that Nick Bosa needs to show me. There's nothing that Leonard Floyd needs to show me. Demo. But yeah,
actually, Greg Williams isn't their DC. It's Joe Woods.
Yeah, but he's our head coach.
No, Joe Woods is their DC. Dennis Allen is their head coach.
Or Dennis Allen. Why did I say Greg Williams? I don't know why the hell I said Greg Williams. I don't know why I said Greg Williams.
Because we're so used to saying fuck Greg Williams and the Saints.
Fucking A, bro. I slapped the fuck out that nigga. Fucking try to hate
Frankie
Gore. Anyway, bitch ass nigga. Him and fucking Sean Payton's bitch ass. And Vilma. Oh yeah, like bro, I got a serious look. I'm a 90s too. I'm a 90s baby, a 2000, or I'm an 80s baby, a 90s kid. And I'm an early 2000s, teenager. I wouldn't say hatred, but your boy's got a lightweight deep dislike for the Aints, bro. Like I still remember when they're in our division.
Yep, and I didn't even remember in our division.
I still remember some rough Sundays in the Superdome.
Yeah, because they had the Dome Patrol back in the day. When they ran that 3-4 defense with those linebackers. They had the Dome Patrol. Yep. Those were some damn good linebackers back in the day. I remember some rough games. Obviously, the playoff game. The catch 3. Obviously, so I wouldn't say that I hate the Aints, but I got a strong dislike for them. And the targeting shit, obviously only added to it. Yeah, once it goes to the targeting, it went from a.
I mean, once you start talking about Frank Gore's head and his knees, like that, that's
being a good rivalry.
Yeah,
where I don't hate you. So now, no, fuck you.
Yeah, like fuck you.
It changed after that.
And I thought the biggest justice and everything like that was the only one that got a vicious hit that game was fucking Pierre Thomas.
Yeah.
And that's seriously probably one of my favorite football hits of all time. I actually taught I told Dante Hittner after he signed my NFR hat. I told Dante Hittner, I said, bro, that nigga's still asleep on the field. And he laughed. I was like, bro, he's still asleep on the field.
I still that game means a lot to me personally, just because of everything that happened in my life. I remember actually crying after, bawling after that with everything that was going on.
Bro, who are you talking about? We all know I cry after the game all the time.
I cry after games. I was just unnecessarily crying.
Jason, I know exactly how you felt. I always tell people this: if you want to know what it's like to be a dad to a little girl, listen to Haley's song by Eminem.
Yeah,
right. And I remember when my baby mama first took me to court, and I legitimately thought I was going to lose my daughter, right? And I remember I obviously heard Haley's song before, but I just remember one day being on the computer at the house I was staying on, being on the computer, doing job applications, and Haley's song came in. And I lost it, bro. I was, and I remember I would just listen to that song on repeat over and over and over again. And it just made me feel so much better. It made me feel like somebody could relate to, what I was going through and everything. So I definitely know how music, sports, things of that nature, could definitely.
That was the Wednesday when I came home from taking my ex's kids to karate, and I found her in bed with my best friend. Like I said, that was Wednesday, and that game was on Sunday. Just, oof.
Yeah, bro. I mean, look, I've been cheated on, but I never caught anybody in the act, bro.
In your own house.
I'm surprised you're not in prison,
friend.
Bro. Yeah, I'm surprised you're not in prison.
Well, I told you the reason why I'm not in prison, right? Because I did grab the gun, and then her little 3-year-old was like, Jason, what's going on in here? And she grabbed my hand. I'm like, nothing.
Hey, Straight up, one of the only reasons I'm not in prison for at least attempted murder is because my homegirl refused to open up a door. The security guard I got into it with it. I was going to go into Casey's car and grab the knife. You know what I'm saying? Like, legitly, I was going to go grab the knife. And the only reason Casey knew I wouldn't break her window.
Yeah.
She knew I wouldn't break her break her car window. And so when I was like, open the fucking door. I mean, I was screaming. You know what I'm saying? Bitch, open the door. And she was just, nope. I was hitting her car. Anyway.
All right, so for my guys on defense. Oh, I'm afraid you didn't do defense. Go ahead.
Defense, I mean, I just gotta hold on. Let me find it.
I know, I already know where you're going.
I gotta know Mustafa.
Do it again. Do it again.
We need to get that one a little bit louder. It's really loud.
Yeah, I'll work on it.
All right, for my defense, I want to see something out of Evan Anderson. Obviously, with Kalia Davis going down, we definitely need that big body up front to get some relief to these guys in the run game. We need that guys to take up some space, let some of these other guys fly around, make those big plays. So I want to see something out of Evan Anderson. On offense, media, this is for you. I want to see something from Jacob Cowling. Simply because Pearsall isn't going to play. Who knows what's going on with BA? Jennings isn't going to play more than a few snaps. So that means some of these other guys are going to have to step up and play an extended amount of time. And I want to see, hopefully Jacob Cowling gets a chance to get out there and show us why, we drafted him and all that kind of stuff.
He makes the team, right?
Yeah. Yeah, he still makes it.
Yeah, I want to say that. Yeah, he's drafted, all that and everything like that, but can't make the club in the tub, brother.
Yeah. And he hasn't been as hurt as, say, Pearsall has been. But I definitely want to see something out of him going forward to say, okay, this is definitely why we drafted you. I can see where
I just want a Trey Lance with Danny Gray type of play. That's all I need to see. That's all I need to see, brother.
Yeah. Well, and then that is everything for this week. Anything else from you, brother?
Yeah, no, just finally excited. I remember when I left practice on Dwight Clark Day and everything like that, all the security people and the people who work at Levi's, they all recognize me. Obviously, I'm there every day, and everything like that. And so they're like, thanks for coming every day and, all that stuff. And I was like, hey, I said, shit, next time I'm over here, we're going to have Niner football back in that building right there, obviously meaning Levi's. So ultimately, we've listed what we wanted to see, from individual players from the team as well. Obviously, health, numero uno.
Especially without being hooked.
Yeah. I'm just really when we step back, I'm just happy to have Niner football in my life. 2020, I mean, bro, you dealt with me. 2020 was a dark year for your boy, especially, during the pandemic. 2020 was definitely a dark year for your boy. My life ain't right without Niner football in it. Being able to go to the games, things it felt so weird. I had never there's been plenty of seasons I've never went to a Niner game. It was just so weird knowing that no matter what I did, I couldn't.
You couldn't go, yeah.
There's nothing I could possibly do. Even if I got $1 million, I couldn't go to the Niner game. And so, obviously, sometimes we forget this, but I promised myself that every game since then, I would just take a moment just to appreciate the fact that I get to go to the game on Sunday and do what I love to do. And that it's not taken away from me, bro. So ultimately, the thing I'm most excited about is just having Niner football back in our life. And we're one week closer. 1 week closer to Monday Night Football. All right, brother. One thing I was gonna ask you. Message me your shirt size. We got up to 5X that we can
just
do.
give me the fat guy size.
Okay, I got you. All right, brother. We'll see you Tuesday.
Deuces. All right, everybody. Thank you once again for being here for Niner Faithful Radio. Even you, Mr. Jim Everett the Great, with Tommy Huxley, Brandon Allen will be starting week 3. We shall see about that. Thank you for showing up, even if you were conveniently late, Mr. Everett. So everybody else, again, we'll see this team see this team play this Sunday, the second preseason game against the Saints. And then me and TJ will be back on Tuesday to go over our review of that. And then, whoa, we got Miss Veronica Kim also showing up. Thank you very much. Great show. Thank you very much. Again, everybody in chat, Fat Fatai, Telly Lava, one love. Thanks, everybody. Deuces.